Well, as for this little moment, we're going to try to make this a little short here. So I tell y'all, I was a little tired this morning when I was doing the project. I sometimes have little long days because got a lot going on lately, and I tell you, I've been a little extra busy too. And with it being the new year, like I've been saying, I've been starting off the new year at making setting up a booth for sales in Frankfurt where I've got some stuff in there and that I'm trying to work on selling. We don't know how everything's going to go yet, but we're kind of, as of right now, trying our best. I do want to kind of get a little bit more extra work done on the elephant here. There's a few little places we've gone over already here, and there you've seen a little while ago how I sort of went over one side of the body here. Well, maybe I didn't. I'm thinking about another one I was working on in another place. So that's a little point of confusion there, but I think as of now, we're going to do a little different work. We're going to try to sew together the ear on each side. Sew the two sides of the ear together so that we can turn them out whenever it comes time to do it. So I say this is going to be the way a little work comes along. I say, yeah, we got it now. I was almost afraid that the thread had come off the needle there for a moment, but that's how we're going to do right now, just sort of take it to where it's going to need to go. And so put it right in, put it right through, make it so it's going to be a bright, shiny way to conquer a little worth in something. Put a lot of time and effort into the things we do. Sew along the ear, and there's a little place where a little stitchery comes up on one little corner of the ear, and we sort of like move the needle along, put it over and under through the whole little thing, and to see how it's all going to be when it really, really, really comes right out in the end. I say, oh, the work is going to match a lot. I say, we kind of got to move along this way. We don't know what's next here, but yes, I think we've got it where it just ought to be, and so yeah, we kind of get the thread a little tangled up here in places, and sometimes it comes together in weird little ways, but I tell you, it takes some strong hands to sew through this denim, and that's what I've got here. Hands that can really do the trick, I say. Oh, little work, I say. Oh gosh, it's just kind of the way we measure things out, make things out to be. I tell y'all that this little kind of work is just going to go around the circle of the ears to make it so the elephant is going to come its own little way and, make us all think about, oh, that old song, Elephants in Silly Pants, Running Everywhere, from the Sharon and Lois and Bram show from back in the 80s. It's just the thing where little things just come out of nature and we see the work of them come forth and all. I say that things can get a little controversial here and there because I've done some pieces of work that have said a lot, meant a lot, and You know, I've kind of carved little things that you've even some of the things I'd say that you've seen in some of my videos that I have carved, like the little dragons and stuff. A lot of that stuff you could probably say it's down at the little place in Frankfurt where I took a lot of my work, a lot of my stuff that was already done, and so there's just a lot to share that goes in those places and see. We just see a lot of good little work being done, I say. And as for now, this is a long piece of thread, so it's getting tangled around the leg here. It got tangled around the ear once or twice, and so there's a lot of fooling around to be done here, but we managed to get it all out just the way it kind of needs to be. There's also just some other tags to put on things that I just so happened to have ordered in the mail, and just got notification today that they have shipped from Vista Print, and we're just going to be happy to have a little more work coming our way. I'd be happy and all just to kind of have my stuff at the front of the store, which is where it is, so people can see it when they first come in. Even been to a few events where they sort of had my booth at the front of the store, and mine would probably be among the first ones people would see when they came in. There is a little place, a little knot in the thread we're going to have to come back and tackle later. But I tell you one thing for sure is that with this piece of thread, we could probably take it back its own way. So I say we're going to try to come back around, and think we're going to go back and try to tie another knot around that loop. It might be the little extra work to take just to do it, but it'll be worth it. So I'm coming down to just that, and got to get to that place where we make the little loop in the thread and make another knot around that extra loop that sticks out. And so that's how I sort of go about this work. I just sort of have my own little creative ways of doing things in the best way I know how. I've been so blessed in so many ways, and so much I've been able to say and do, and oh, I say, make it all come out so brighter. There's going to be a night this week I'm going to get back to my gym workouts, but that'll be something we'll take care of in its own time. We got a little place to go, a little thread to knot, and as we go about it, just put the little hook through the loop, and I say come down to make it where we got a little knot here and a knot there, and kind of try to make our work kind of shine like the morning light, and then we'll see. And now you see how we've come along this ear. It's hard to let everything be seen as far as what we do, but I say that little work shall make its way. One of these days, I'll be finished with this series, and with all I be doing, I tell y'all, we got a little cold front coming in this weekend. It's supposed to get cold later in the week. I'll be having to get out my long sleeve shirts for work for sure, and so that's how that's going to go. I mean, as a kid, I'd go out in the cold and get little ear infections, and think now that I'm getting old, it's getting back to that way. It wasn't so much a thing my younger adult years, but things just kind of change as we age a little bit, and we kind of get to the point in life where we change a little bit ourselves. This little work is making its way along us, and so we say that it's just kind of like, hold it. I tell you, work shall make its way into us, be our special light, be the little soul we reach and soul we know. We kind of gotta change for the better sometimes. I mean, I'm just busier than I used to be. Got a lot of vending to do these days, and so, as you see, I tell you, I forgot to mention I used the black thread for the ear because it has a black underside, so at least there's one side of the little denim that it matches, and so we kind of got to put the needle through the thread and through the fabric, and so that's how we got the life of this critter to come. And I tell you, I had little dreams where I made little critters out of clay and they came to life. Once I kind of in that dream, sort of like I'd say, made a little, try to say what it is. I mean, little little clay snake and a little clay lizard, and both came to life, and the clay snake devoured the clay lizard. I'd say it was just a little time and work put into my schedule in my life, but made it all the way up to where it just kind of needed itself to be. And so life can come in many ways, many shapes, and many forms. I say with all this that we're doing, we got it all just right as it needs to be. Seeing how with all this work we do, making it so it makes its way into us and shines a glorious light into us, because I say that my type of work is just kind of a little too much sometimes, and these days I get busier because crafts is becoming so much more of my ministry these days. There were all kinds of things I did to minister to people in different ways, but these days it's just all the more through my crafts. Back in the days when I used to do a lot of music ministry, there were people who supported that and people who loved it and all, and they were all people who they were on this earth for a time, but then they passed on to glory. They're all up there in heaven with Jesus now, and they're having the best time of their lives, and I'm down here on this earth just continuing to work and continuing to kind of make my little ways to minister in ways and make things that even after I leave this earth, I hope will always last. This little work is just the kind of thing that needs to make its way. It's going to bind and captivate and see how we all do little special things. Oh, the work in my life is just a little corner of a myth, I say, and so now we come down to it and we say that there's just a little place here where we got a little loop in the thread, just got to tie another knot around that other loop and try to get it through. Finally, we just took care of that little thing there, and so we just kind of wasted a lot of thread here, a whole big strand. So as of next thing I say, we are going to kind of take another little piece and try to put it its way through. And so, and we also sort of, I'd say, probably took not a whole piece off here, but long enough piece, I'd say. So we kind of got to work our way into this, make it so it's going to be a little brighter in the end. We gotta make another little knot, and so we're going to come upon the other side of the ear, make another place on the other side of the ear where this little knot is going to go through, and it's not going to tie itself, so we have to tie it. And I say this is going to be the work we're going to be doing and making it so we're going to see a little brighter light, brighter days. And so up to the work of this project, I say we go. And finally we got up to the end of the thread here, so time to kind of make the little knot where we're going to start, kind of pull it right through, kind of make the next little place where it's going to go, and make another little stop in there. And so as of this ear, we're going to place a little in, kind of take it a little further along, make it so it's going to be a little brighter to truth and dare and all the things we're going to come to see in the end. I say that this is how it's all going to go. It's going to drive us to the North Pole. And so I say that I've been getting a little thirstier lately. Forgot to bring any water over here with me this time. Didn't think I'd be so long, but I think it's going to be something that, as of yet, we're going to take care of this. It won't take us long to get these last few stitches in the ear, get it moving along. And so I say another little ways to go. We finally got it through here. We finally got it up through the other side, and so up to the little place where the stitch from the head comes. And so down we go with a little work in our lives, and so make its way through so we see a little more extra light of day in us, and come down to what we all want to hear, all want to see. And so bless the child in all ways. A little work shall find its way to us and make its home in us. We all find places in our hearts where we do what we do, and we work along and we work along, and finally we're kind of taking little steps as they come and go. Say little ways to do, little ways to go, make it all seem like we've got it a long ways now. We're going to take the next few steps, go a little further up to the top of the ear, and then come back to the same little knot where we started. And of all things, this is just the project at hand. Just the work of the ways and the work of our hands. I say our hands are really good for us. We got to be able to use them. And our eyes too. Leonardo da Vinci said that the eyes are the most important part of your body. I think in one way they are, but I'd say the hands are as well. The hands have got to do the work too. And for the kind of work that it takes some of us to do, it just kind of goes to show we gain a little power and control from all the time we take and invest and put into our work and stuff, and finally make it so it all turns out for the best. And then finally we're going to make it all come down. We got a little place where we just gotta go past the knot we begin with, And so that is where we'll end. It took about 20 minutes to do this video. Didn't think it would, but I'd say we finally got the steps in, finally got the steps where we needed them to be, finally got it all taken care of. And so as for a little work to come here and there, I'd say as for now, I'm finished for the night. Thank you for watching. And after I tie this another little knot around this other loop, think I'll be turning it off and be done. So it's all good. We're getting this last little step taken care of. Then finally I can turn it off, and for the night I can say goodbye.